Welcome to Istanbul. We have finally made it and we are going to start our day right here in the Sultanahmet District because it has so much to offer. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how to see all of it in one day. Let's go. Here at Sultanahmet Park. Now this park is where you want to be because you are going to have the Hagia Sophia on one side and the Blue Mosque on the other. So this makes a great starting point. Aside from sitting amongst Istanbul's most famous monuments, this park is always bustling with visitors snapping photos of the domes. And you will also have plenty of planted gardens and paved plazas, and of course, the big fountain that sits right at the midway point of this beautiful park and offers you amazing views. Our first stop of the day is going to be the famous Hagia Sophia. The line is incredibly long, but I have a feeling it's going to be completely and entirely worth it. The Hagia Sophia is one of the most popular attractions around. It is a current working mosque, and as such, it is a free attraction with long lines, of course, but very worth it. All right, we made it inside the Hagia Sophia, one of the most photographed mosques in all of Istanbul. I can't wait to go inside. It's supposed to be really, really good. I'm not even in yet, and I'm already incredibly impressed. I can see why this is one of the most photographed mosques in the area. It's absolutely a beauty to look at. I am blown. The Hagia Sophia is one of the Byzantine Empire's surviving architectural marvels. Now, this sacred building remains, even today, a huge symbol of power for the people of Istanbul. This beautiful architecture marvel, it's about 1,500 years old, and in terms of architecture, it's more of a fusion of Christian and Islamic design right in the prayer hall, where you will notice a multitude of chandeliers that are stringing from the soaring ceiling. You will have mammoth medallions inscribed with names of God or the Prophet Muhammad, and you will also notice geometric designs that creep up on the plastered semi-domes and arches overhead. Now, this is a working mosque and it's open to the public. Some people go in there to pray, others go in there just to admire the beautiful gift of architecture that was given to the people through this very building. That was amazing. Honestly, the whole experience is educational, amusing, exciting, respectful. Every adjective I can think of. A must do, seriously. Wow, we are officially out, and that was one of the most amazing things I have seen. I loved it. I highly recommend it. But let's get going because this district has more to offer us. It's going to be one of the most interesting locations here in Sultanahmet District, and it's going to be the Sultan's tomb, a must visit. So let's go see what it holds. Sultanahmet's tomb is the final resting place of the Ottoman sultans and their family members. As soon as you walk in here, you will be welcomed with tent-like tombs in all sorts of sizes. Now, the construction of this area began in the 14th century, and the space was created by some of the best architects of its time. It welcomes visitors with multicolored tiles, arches, beautiful windows, and of course a feeling of reverence and remembrance, especially for the many tombs of children who did not depart from natural causes. It's truly a very interesting place to visit. What an experience that has been. It's hard to articulate how you feel when you go in there. Now, there's the factor of it's so interesting to see the tombs, and then you also have it in the back of your mind that some of the Sultan babies were murdered and you don't know how to feel. So, it is a little bit of a macabre and at the same time interesting experience, but I highly recommend it. Let's get going and see what else we can hang on to. Is going to be the famous Blue Mosque. Now, I do have to give you heads up. Blue Mosque is currently undergoing renovations until mid-2023, but I think that we should still go check it out and see a little bit of it. The Blue Mosque is Istanbul's most photogenic building. Now, although it is undergoing constructions, you can still see the signature blue tiles on the ceiling that give it its namesake. Now, you are also able to admire the immensity of this place in the huge prayer area. And of course, you're more than welcome to still walk through it and get a vibe of it. Now, we are officially out, and although the Blue Mosque is going construction, I have to say that it is still an experience just to see the effort that the people here are taking to conserve their mosque, and you still get a cultural experience. So even if you're not being able to view all the amazing things that you normally would, I still think it makes for a good cultural experience overall. Let's go. And just like that, we have made it to our next location, and that is going to be the Arasta Bazaar, a place that is a little bit more low-key than all the other markets around, and a good place to catch lunch. And I think, according to my belly, that's what I'm going to be looking for. Although there are plenty of places to shop in Istanbul, the Arasta Bazaar is particularly exciting because you cannot get lost, unlike the Grand Bazaar, and you can easily spend an hour or two just browsing through the shops, sampling food, or simply getting some lunch. Lots of great things here in this little bazaar, and its proximity to Sultanahmet Square makes it ideal for those looking to stay in the area and just catch a little break. So many goodies right here, from tea to candy, clothes. The options are endless. We have made it to our next spot, and we are here to dine. We have made it to Serbathane, one of my favorite restaurants here on the European side, and I love it because they have a variety of entrees from meat eaters to non-meat eaters, and I'm ready to chow down. Serbathane is also an amazing place to sit down and watch the entrees that are being brought to those around you. Some very cultural dishes, so it's really a show in and of itself. And of course, there is hookah smoking for those that are so inclined, readily available. Okay, so our food is here, guys. We decided to go with a vegetarian entree for this time. We decided to do the cheese pita, and as you can tell, it has a little bit of bell peppers in there, which is the first time I've actually seen it with bell peppers. I'm ultra excited to try it. The size is huge, and it looks like we're gonna have cheese galore. Let's put it up.
Make this bread, will you?
Oh wow, thank you so much. You don't have to do that.
Looks awesome.
Guys, if I could literally give you the smell through the camera, it smells fresh. Look at this. Oh, so good. I get first dips and then comes the cameraman. Definitely a place to try. And of course, at the end of the meal, you cannot go wrong with traditional Turkish tea. The one particularly here is incredibly good and one of my favorites, as I said. So I am ready to relax, drink some tea before I continue on with my day. Alright guys, our late lunch was absolutely delicious, but the day's still young. So I figured let's go roam some more. Alright, we have made it to our next spot and we are walking through one of the cutest streets in all of Istanbul. So let's go and admire the beauty of all these little wooden houses. Sogukcesme Street is one of those really significant streets in Istanbul that most tourists walk by all day long but don't really understand its history. Now, around this cobble street, you're gonna find at least 12 Ottoman houses that are built against the walls of the Topkapi Palace, and those Ottoman houses are actually named after the flower that is grown beside them. Of course, 9 are part of a boutique hotel nowadays, and another fun fact on this street is that the 6th president of Turkey was born in one of these charming streets. Now, as for the location, you're gonna find this street right between the Hagia Sophia and the walls of the Topkapi Palace. So if you keep walking straight ahead, you will reach the beautiful palace. So much history down that street. It really was super cool and I enjoyed it. Even though that it has a little bit more of a touristic-y feel, I still think it's worth it to check out. But now I am where I've been looking forward to seeing since I arrived in Istanbul, and that is gonna be the Topkapi Palace right behind me. This was a special request. My mom wants to see it really badly, so I figured I gotta go do it. So let's explore it. The Topkapi Palace is one of Istanbul's most iconic historic structures, and it captures the admiring gaze of tourists every day. Now, it is truly amazing to stand in the plaza right before you enter. Of course, you gotta get ready for those long lines, but it's definitely worth it once you get in. Oh my God, we are officially in, and I have to say, I cannot recommend the museum pass anymore, because there it is, a very, very long line at the ticket booth, and now we're here, and it's amazing! My mom's gonna love this, so get ready. As you make your way in, you are going to be welcomed by gardens galore, huge trees, and lots of people around. Now, the options are truly endless in this palace, and you can go at your own leisure. Now, as you're exploring, it truly becomes a magnificent reminder of the pomp that the Ottoman Empire once was. Now, this palace also has a museum, and it has history that dates back all the way to the 15th century. Now, if a museum is not quite what you're looking for, this palace still offers plenty of things to do, from walking around the complex, looking at the living quarters, witnessing the marvelous architecture that took place within this grounds. It also walks you through their living rooms and what it would be like to be a sultan for the day. Now, that is pretty amazing. And as you walk the complex, you will get to see their gardens, their water fountains, and statues, and of course, get to walk the beautiful hallways along some of these buildings. Alright, we are exploring this awesome place. So far, we have seen the library, some buildings in between, and one of the things that I really wanted to do from here is actually look at the view that this place offers, because it is really cool, and that is where we're gonna head. It's probably gonna be lots of people, but I'm quite okay with it because I can't wait to look at it. Let's go. So, isn't that an amazing view? One of the best ones that you are gonna find right here inside the Topkapi Palace in Istanbul. Overall, I'm mesmerized and in love. After spending some time catching those beautiful views that the Topkapi Palace offers you, it's really cool to go and roam through the courtyards that this palace has, from the courtyard of Black Eunuchus to the courtyard of the concubines, and the list goes on, offering you plenty of things to continue to do, so make sure that you bring your comfortable shoes. Walking through another area here in the Topkapi Palace, and we are right here at the Holy Mantle Fountain, which a lot of tourists don't realize they're walking past. But essentially, when the Sultans will pass away, it was this very fountain that will wash their bodies. So they will bring them up here and get them ready. And that is the importance of this area. Most people pass by, but I think that you should definitely come by, admire the history of it, look down at the bottom of it, and keep moving to another view spot. As you continue to walk through the Topkapi Palace, every corner feels like a giant surprise. Not only that, but you get to learn so much about the beautiful history that happened within these walls. You have to understand that this palace was occupied between the 15th and the 19th century, and that was when it was the court of the Ottoman Empire. And it had opulent pavilions, jewel-filled treasuries, concubines galore, and ambitious sultans. So it makes for great story and for great history learning as you walk through these hallways. Walking through what is considered one of my most favorite areas here in this palace, and it's the horse ramp. Right here is where you had the dormitories and people living their daily life. Not to mention that the sultans used this area to do sword ceremonies and all sorts of other things. So it's really, really cool to actually pay to get into this side of the palace, because it truly is worth it. If you ask me, I'm enjoying this part more than the outside. Well, my experience here has been an amazing one, but this city and the Sultanahmet District has so much more to offer besides this. So if you're not able to get in here, not to worry, because there's so much more to do. Let's go check it out. I did have to come to the nearest park, and at that, a very popular one. We are here at the Gulhane Park, and it's a must visit here in the Sultanahmet District. And what a better way to relax from all the walking we did at the palace than right here listening to the sounds of the water fountains. Gulhane Park is truly a magnificent park. Now, it is one of the oldest and largest parks in all of Istanbul, and it is named after the Persian word greenhouse. And of course, in the Ottoman times, this park was part of the gardens in the Topkapi Palace. It makes for a great visit, especially when you are in the area. And of course, if you go during the time that they have roses and tulips, it can be extraordinarily beautiful. Now, I did enjoy walking through some of these beautiful fountains, and it makes for a great stop just to rest as well as to people watch. I really do love the vibe of this park and just have relaxed. I feel I can't recommend it anymore. It is a good stopping point just to take a breather from the chaos of Istanbul. So we've made it to our next spot, and that is Sultanahmet Square, one of the most popular areas for for tour groups to meet up, and it is often overlooked. However, it has so much to offer, and I love to come to this place. Now, Sultanahmet Square is incredibly famous amongst tourists as it is a very important meeting point for tours that go around the city. But aside from this, and aside from its proximity to some of the greatest attractions in all of Istanbul, this place holds a lot of history in and of itself. Now, for starters, let's look at some of the monuments that are here. You're gonna have the Serpentine Column, obelisk, the walled obelisk, and the list goes on. So that is pretty cool in and of itself. You have more time here in Sultanahmet, or maybe you didn't like one of the recommendations I gave you earlier. Well, I have a brand new one for you, and that is the Museum of Archaeology here in Istanbul, and one of the best ones in Turkey with lots to offer. The Istanbul Archeological Museum, it's actually the first Turkish museum, and to this day it remains one of the world's largest with over 1 million works. Now in this place you are actually going to see 3 buildings, which will include the Museum of the Ancient Orient and the Tile Pavilion, in addition to the Istanbul Archeological Museum. Now today I'm gonna go explore this Istanbul Archeological Museum and check it out. Now what is so exciting about this is that it houses a collection of Greek, Roman, and Byzantine artifacts. Now all this opened in 1891 and it has been shown to the public ever since, and it's really exciting to see things such as jewelry, weapons, sarcophagus, you name it. Definitely a must-do when in Istanbul. This museum is definitely worth visiting. I personally love how they are able to grab 4 different timelines and bring them together. You will definitely see some things here that you will not be able to find either in Greece nor Italy. So I highly recommend that if you have more time, you definitely add this to your list. Let's keep moving, more to discover. My next recommendation for you is going to be the Basilica Cistern. Now, this actual attraction is definitely worth to get done here in the Sultanahmet District. Just make sure you get your tickets in advance so you don't have to stand in that line. The Basilica Cistern is actually one of the must-see attractions in Istanbul and one of the most popular ones as well. Now, it does have a huge cultural significance and the most captivating underground wonders. Now, it is really cool to see that it was built during the Roman period, and it boasts really impressive Medusa heads. And to top it all off, you are going to be giving stunning lighting effects, and at some points, the entire room will turn completely dark. There is some water that you're going to see, as it is a water reservoir still, and it's really a really interesting experience. But if you are a little bit claustrophobic, do keep in mind that the way down may be a little tight. Now, just so you get an idea as to how popular this place is, it's important to remember the 007 movie From Russia with Love, because this very Istanbul cistern is featured in the film and lots of fans come to take a look at it. So definitely get your tickets online and make sure that you guys are prepared for the experience of a lifetime. And just like that, guys, our video in Sultanahmet District comes to an end. That is everything that you can do in exactly one day, plus a couple more options. Now, if you'd like to see more videos like this, please make sure to subscribe, like, and don't forget to click that little bell. Now, if you're interested in Turkey, don't forget to check out the playlist to see more Turkey videos. That's it for today. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll catch you all next time.